Good evening and welcome to the February 10th, 2026 Commission meeting. Will you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, number one on our regular agenda is consider the meetings for the January 27th, 2026 meeting.
I move we approve the minutes.
I got a motion. Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay, I have a second. Any further discussion or any?
Nope.
No. Okay. Any opposed? Oh, aye. Sorry. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Okay, we'll move on to the next. Number two is the year-end reports from the Chamber of Commerce and the Senior Center. We'll start with Pam from the Chamber of Commerce, if you would like to come up and present. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor and Commissioners, it's my privilege to be here tonight to talk to you about our contract that we have with the city to do downtown events. This goes clear back to probably when I started at the Chamber in 2005 as membership director. Virgil Penner and the city manager that time worked out an agreement that we would do these events. We also did historical preservation and the Visitors Bureau, but some of that moved in 2012. But I'm here to kind of tell you about the things that we do. One of the things we do is we have met since 2005 with the Downtown Promotions Committee. It's made up of mostly downtown businesses. There's about 22 that attend. It's the second Tuesday of the month at Norm's, and we buy coffee or a food item, whichever they like, and kind of talk about all the different events that we're doing. Then we do So Much Love in February, kind of promoting to shop local. We have a new thing going this time where we're giving away a Valentine basket that I think it's worth maybe $750. So it's a hotel night stay, dinner at Cadillac Jack's, all kinds of goodies. So we're encouraging people to go downtown and register, and hopefully one person's going to win this great basket. So we're doing a little different this year. We helped with the Third Thursdays. We helped with Main Street to put that event on. One of the big things we helped with was the wine walk. We kind of ran that through the chamber, getting the liquor license, paying the state for the liquor that was consumed, had volunteers. I think we had about, and then the money, we sold 100 tickets. We sold it like that. So I know this time going forward, we'll do more tickets because we sold out really quickly, but we made $1,200 on that event that we gave back to the Downtown Beautification campaign. We do a summer sales mania. That one has struggled just a tad trying to figure out summer sales. Nobody wants to pull out to the sidewalk during the summer. It's too hot. We tried moving it from July to June, and then we'll try to figure out what we can do differently going forward. One of the big highlights is College Night. We did that October 21st. We invite the colleges in the area, Bethel College, Heston College, Tabor, Hutch Community College. We had over 200 kids downtown that night. We do 100 bags for the first 100 kids that go through, filled with all kinds of goodies, all kinds of food items really for the kids from chamber members that they donate. And so they go around and play bingo to all the different businesses downtown. And once they get their bingo card filled out, they come back, give it to us, and then at the end of the night, we give away all kinds of great prizes. We gave, the top one this last year was an electric scooter. So one of the kids from Heston won that. But of course, Bethel College has the most kids. we're working to get on board with some of the people in Heston to get more of them over here. They had to change over some staff, so there weren't quite as many from Heston, but still, we had over 200 kids. And of course, Taste of Newton, which was October 2nd. We had, by Placer, we could tell we had over 7,400 people downtown, and that's people with cell phones. And you look at how many kids are downtown with their parents, there's a lot. So I'm sure that's a lot more. We had 69 vendors, and we expanded the year before to 4 blocks. So it's been fun to be able to do that, and I think it's really helped to spread out. The fire departments work with us to make sure everything's safe. We're inspecting the trailers. They have to have a license now, so that has really worked well. Taste of Newton next year will be late. It's October 15th. It's one of the later ones, so it's always decided upon by the date that Bethel College has their home football game. We did decorated Main Street with all the poles. We wrapped the poles with greenery. We just took them all down on Monday. We had a beautiful Monday downtown. We usually use some of our ambassadors to come help us volunteer to do that, and so it went down pretty quickly. Goes down much faster than it goes up, so it's lots of fun to be able to do that and make the downtown festive. We tried a new thing this year with 7 Saturdays of Christmas. It used to be called Taste of Christmas. We had some input that they wanted to make it longer. They didn't want it just one weekend because people kind of rush in to get the puzzle piece and leave. We wanted people to spend more time. But we did find out that it kind of lost a little bit of its excitement by dragging it out that long. So Courtney White, that's my new person in my office that's working on downtown events, really has met with the downtown merchants and tried to figure out how could we make this better. We realized it was too long. And then we did Deck Downtown, which was December 4th through the 14th. 14 downtown businesses participated in that. We started that several years ago, trying to get more people to decorate their windows downtown. This year, the toy store won the top judge's choice, and the people's choice was the Twisted Bookstore. So that was kind of fun. We had over 370 votes that were cast, so it was a 75% increase from the previous year. Ribbon cuttings, the chamber did 28 ribbon cuttings, so we keep everybody busy between the mayor, vice mayor, commissioners, whoever can fill in. We had 28, and there were, I think, 28 of them downtown. No, not 28. There was, I think, 13. We had Prairie Toy Store, Dustin Remy State Farm, Cadillac Jack's, Harvey County Now, Railway Clubhouse, Twisted Bookstore, and Ironstone Wealth Advisors this last year. So quite a bit of change in our downtowns. It's kind of fun to be able to see some of the people moving around. One of the other things we do at the chamber, which is part of the youth entrepreneurship challenge falls under, is Network Kansas. We do gap financing for a business that maybe can't get a loan for their full amount that they need to open their business, and so we do some gap financing. We started right before COVID. It was kind of slow to start because people wanted money that was grants, not necessary loans, and it has been busy. I'm telling you, we have done, if you look on there, we have done 432,150, and that's a 53% increase. I've just finished 2 loans and working on a third, and so let's see. Just recently, the 3 loans that I'm doing is totaling $362,074. So it just really has been busy. I feel like sometimes I'm a loan officer right now, but most of those loans have been here in Newton. We did sign up when we did Network Kansas to be a county Network Kansas, and so we just did our first loan in Halstead. We've done one in Burton, but most of them have all been here in Newton. So it's a great asset because some of those communities do not have a chamber or they have a volunteer chamber. So it's fun to be able to do that. Let's see what else. The average loan is about $30,000, and the average interest rate is 3.64. So it's very affordable, and usually we don't ask for any collateral. There's very few that fail, how they come up with this money that we're able to loan is by selling tax credits through the state. Network Kansas gets those, and then we use them for loans. At one time when I first started, when I looked into Network Kansas, McPherson used to charge 0 interest, and so they did tons of loans. But then they realized we needed to charge some interest to be able to build that fund, to be able to do more loans. So there now is a requirement that you have to charge an interest. Downtown beautification campaign, we just donated another $5,000 from our foundation that's under the chamber that we use for economic development. So we were hoping, and we got a match through the Patterson Foundation, through the Newton Foundation, to be able to help purchase the downtown wireless system that's going to go up downtown, hopefully this spring. So we're excited about that. I know this is the second $5,000 we've donated, so over the last couple of years, we've donated $10,000 to that fund. And then one of the last ones that's really my favorite is the Youth Entrepreneurship Challenge that we started 3 years ago. It's with Network Kansas. And we started out asking the JAG kids to, I knew Dee Dee Trumbull, and I'm like, will you be our guinea pig and get this started? So she said, sure. I don't know what we're doing, but we'll figure it out. And so she required all her students in her class to participate in this Youth Entrepreneurship Challenge. They have to come up with a business. They have to do a business plan, and then they have to be able to come in and present in front of judges, and then also do a trade show. The first year went great. All of our kids did it. I think we had over 35 kids, and it was really well attended. We had 6 judges that did all the judging. There were volunteers, and then last year was our second year. We added 2 more classes, well, 3 more classes, another JAG class and 2 more classes, and so we have 4 classes that participated. Not all of them required it, but we had another 34 students, 34 businesses with around 70 students that participated. We had 9 judges at that time, so we've learned that's our limit. It's just a great experience. If you got to come through, we had over 100 chamber members go through and vote. We do a people's choice, and then there's a first place, a second place, and a third place. Our first place winner will then go on to K-State to compete at the state level. And it's just fun to see these kids and to interact with them. They were amazing. I don't know if any of you went through, but it is quite an experience. And if not, you need to come through this year. It's going to be March 11th, and it's at the Meridian Center. We just felt like that's a great place to host it. When I went and looked at the one they did in Salina, they did it at a Votech college, and it was jammed in a little room. It wasn't a trade show feeling. I've been to trade shows with my husband over the years, and I'm like, we set it up like a trade show. So you go around and visit with them. Some of them are actually doing their jobs now, their businesses that they created. But one of the girls that has won twice, she won for bark bandanas that she created. And then last year she did a business where she had butterflies that she would sell in containers so that you could let them loose at a wedding, funeral, different things. It was really cute. But she's a senior this year, and she told her teacher this year, this is the most memorable thing she's done while she's been at Newton High School. So it's just hearing that. And then she also, Dee Dee had a student that did it the first year we did it. He's at WSU now, and he's like, do you still make him do that Youth Entrepreneurship Challenge? Do you still require it? She's like, no. And he's like, you should. That's the thing I remember the most about high school.
What time does that start on the 11th?
The trade show will be from about 10 to 11. And we'll put stuff out to make sure you know. You're welcome to come. It starts at 8 where we serve them breakfast because some of these kids don't get breakfast. Some of these kids, and JAG especially, don't like school. And so I think this has really made them realize they need school to be able to figure out the price for their goods, what it costs to run a business, but yet it gives them that thought, because school's not for everybody. We have to have our education, but if we can encourage them to stay in school and get the tools that they need to open a business and work for themselves, it's very exciting to see some of these kids really excel.
When did they start doing this?
We started 3 years ago. This will be our 3rd year.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
there's all over the state. I know this year they're adding some new ones where Pittsburgh State and Hayes State are going to do some competitions on their own, which is new. So kids can also apply to go there and win money. We give $500 to the top prize and $250 for the second place and $100 for the third. And then the People's Choice gets $100. But our winner, even just going to K-State, gets another $500, whether they win or not. But there's thousands of dollars they give away at K-State to students. It's amazing, these students, what they're doing and how they're doing a business as well as going to school.
What grade do they?
We
And
do
they
it
start
through
as early as-
freshman through
Oh, okay.
senior.
Okay.
It could be in the grade school, but then it just becomes harder. I think
Sure.
we're trying to add also to see if we can get Halstead and Heston to participate. So we'll have to do some competition if we do, because really 35 businesses is about at our limit of what we can do and be able to do it efficiently. So, but they do their presentations during the trade show, and then at the end, we have lunch. And so we're going to have sponsors this year that can come and talk in front of the students to help kind of defray some of the cost, because we get no money from Network Kansas to be able to do the loans or the programs. We do get a little bit of marketing money. So we're trying to help cover the cost of the Meridian Center, because I feel like it's a great place to hold the event. But if you haven't been, you need to come, because these kids are so impressive what they do, and I think it's one of the great things that we do. So we appreciate that you help sponsor this event.
Absolutely.
Do you have any questions?
I don't have any. Does anyone else?
It might be good to see if, I don't recall them ever coming to a commission meeting.
That would be a
Just
good
been doing
idea.
it in the last couple of years. I think sometimes kids grow and thrive when they need and they receive that extra recognition. That's really helpful
I agree.
to them. So maybe.
So hopefully we can get them here to one of the commission meetings, the winners, I think would be great.
Yep.
I think they really feel special, and it's just amazing the kids I've met from going in and talking to the classes and working with them when I see them out in public, just that connection that they have to our community. I think that makes them hopefully want to stay here, or if they leave, come back and open up a business in our community because they feel connected in some way. But that's one of my favorite things that I do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good work.
Yes, excellent. I don't know what we would do without the chamber.
And one of the other things, at our annual banquet, we had a speaker that came in. It was Shelley Phelps, and she was one of the first communities that was the HGTV that they went in and did the makeover of their communities. She's from, I have such a hard saying it, Tecumseh, Alabama. And so the day after the banquet, she came and spoke to the downtown people on marketing and branding. So we have 5 extra books, and it's all signed by Shelley. They have one to do what they did in their community.
Thank you, Pam.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Pam. We appreciate you. Next, we'll hear from Lynn Beth from the Newton Senior Center.
Good evening. Thank you for the invitation to come and speak to you about the Senior Center. It is one of my favorite topics. I am Lynn, and I'm the director at the Senior Center, and I also have with me Sherry Folk, one of our board members. And I want to say thank you again for the generosity in granting us the $20,000 in budget, in funds for the budget year that we're in now. I assure you it will be used wisely to keep the center a place to come and be a part of a community of people facing the same challenges of growing older in the world today. With the challenges we faced in the nutrition program transition, it only emphasized how important community is to our participants. I think the biggest highlight of 2025 for the center was the GAF Community Matters program, honoring us with a gift of the materials for our new roof. This was huge for us. It allowed us to be able to get the new roof installed this year rather than waiting a whole nother year and having a whole nother round of fundraising. The team I worked with at GAF Corporate were great to work with. They are located on the East Coast, where I'm from, so we had very, very good conversations. I think it also kind of broke the ice a little bit because we had a lot in common. Also, Ray Roofing was great to work with. They let me pick the color for the trim around the roof line. I thought it was going to have to be white, but they allowed me to pick black, and it looks really great against the yellow. Everyone worked together, and we were able to get the new roof on in late December, just in time for our first snow. Our portion of the project was the labor to install. We held several fundraisers, starting with our concert on the concrete in June, featuring our Golden Notes Choir. Our fundraisers ended with our donor campaign in the month of September, with a percentage of a matching grant from Patterson Foundation. Our participants are very generous with their giving, as best they can, being on fixed income. Also in 2025, we installed LED lights throughout the building. This has lowered our electric bills. We also switched to IdeaTech at the end of the year, faster speed, more reliable service, and a lower monthly bill. Another highlight of 2025 was a grant from Southern Star in Heston. With those funds, we were able to purchase a sidewalk sign to better advertise our events. And next week, we will be getting signage on the outside of our building. I think you had a picture in your packet of stuff of what that's going to look like. In 2025, we also saw an increase in participation in our programs, adding several new regular participants. Our programs are all still going strong. You will see a list on the back of the report in there, the quarterly report. I am proud to say that our pool players who play in a senior league were 18-0 last year and are 10-0 so far this year. Go, guys. We are careful in making changes to our programs since most of our participants do not handle change well. But once they get used to the changes, they are fine. In 2025, we started adding educational programs after our potluck instead of doing trivia or bingo. We have gotten requests for more programs. Last night, we had potluck and we had a program, huge success. Everybody wants them to come back. We also sponsored 2 bus trips in 2025. We went to New Orleans in the spring and Boston in the fall. And this year, we're going to the Black Hills in the spring and Niagara Falls in the fall. If anybody wants to go to Niagara Falls, you better sign up because the tickets are going quick. The participants have a wonderful time. Most of our participants do not get to know others at the center because they do not participate in the same activities. This is an opportunity to continue to build community within the center. The trips average about 50 people and is a great fundraiser for the center. I'm a Medicare counselor besides my many duties as director. This year during open enrollment saw a huge increase in people coming in to see how they could lower their prescription plan and lower their drug costs. Through some creative work, was able to save clients approximately $9,000 in drug plans and almost that much in drug costs. Sometimes it's as simple as just changing pharmacies. But seniors don't know how to do that, and so that's why it's a good thing. This does present some challenges in my job trying to get everything done, but it is so worth it when we can save clients that much money. Unfortunately, some people waited until the last minute and we had to turn them away for just a lack of time. By far, our largest challenge happened at the end of 2025 with our nutrition program. We were informed that the company that had been providing our food and the administration of that food was ending on December 31st. CPAAA, which is the Department of Aging for Sedgwick County, was taking the program over. The bottom line was that the administration of the nutrition program would be falling on the centers to handle. January was a very challenging month with the program, but I think we have turned the corner in February and things look much brighter. During January, the center provided hot meals on 3 different occasions. We did this because the lunch bunch was asking when they could get back together to eat. The rest of the time, the participants received frozen meals. This did not allow for the socialization that they all enjoyed. We received our first hot meal last Monday since the end of December. The lunch bunch was so happy to get back together this week. It has been a real blessing to see them interacting with each other. There is so much laughter coming from that room, it just warms your heart. We have been able to hire a site manager who started last Monday and is doing an excellent job. I have a few more things to work out with the contract, 18 pages long, before signing it, but think things will work out as well for that. We are looking forward in 2026 of bringing our nutrition program numbers back up to where they were. We already have a wait list of 8 people interested in participating. We're hoping to get things worked out so they can join by the end of February. And from what I understand, the food is very, very good. Another goal for 2026 is to get the chairlift replaced going into the basement so that we can utilize that space. We'd like to get some intergenerational activities started. We have the space to do cornhole, ping pong, and shuffleboard. Our project for 2026 is to put in new flooring. The flooring is original from when the building was built in 1964. It is asbestos, and some of the tiles are starting to come up. Have been advised it needs to be done soon before the tiles start coming off completely, or then we need to get the EPA involved. Cost will be in the $80,000 to $100,000 range to do the entire building, so we'll be doing it in sections, doing the most critical floors first. Again, we will be kicking off our fundraiser events for that project with our concert on the concrete in June and ending with our donor campaign in September. Hopefully, Patterson Foundation will continue to do matching grants like they have in the past. In 2026, we will continue to look for some new board members. We have a need for at least 2 new members. The average age of our board is 74. Would love to find someone from the younger generations that has a passion for helping our older population. And would appreciate any suggestions if you have any. On a personal note, I'm another year older than I was last time I presented to you, as we all are. The brain is still functioning pretty good at this point, but I'm challenged physically. The board has agreed to hire a person to help out with the more physical aspects of running the center, also to help with fundraisers and miscellaneous other tasks, especially during those months of open enrollment. And you will see that figure in the budget numbers for 2026. And also, as a point of clarification on the information sheet, the total for the fundraisers does not include the grant from Patterson or Southern Star. I've thoroughly enjoyed my time as director at the center. I am so happy to see how much the community of Newton is embracing the center and the work we are doing. May it continue through 2026 and beyond. Please let me know if you have any questions from the documents that were submitted. If I don't have the answer, I will be glad to get it and get it to Daniela. Now I'd like to bring up a subject that does not directly impact the center, but does impact the participants that attend, so in turn impacts the center. An ongoing challenge is the lack of public transportation in Newton. Several of our participants have to stop coming because they have eyesight issues and are no longer able to drive. They are still able to function on their own and still live in their own home, they just cannot drive. So now all of a sudden they're stuck at home with little or no socialization. I had one participant in tears because she could no longer come for lunch. This was her only outlet during the day. We also have a foot clinic that comes to the center, and some of those clients have had to stop coming because of lack of transportation. Foot care is critical need as we age. I have several ideas on how we can help with this situation, but it would take someone other than me to manage it. If any of you are interested in my ideas and have ideas who could manage the program, I would be very interested in talking with you. And thank you for your time.
Thank you, Lynn. Does any of the commissioners have any questions or comments for Lynn?
I was just told you earlier, those pictures, when you get the Newton Senior Center up there, that looks good. That's going to look really good. The black against the yellow.
Well, you can't help missing our building that
yeah.
bright yellow.
And again, I am so glad that you went back to Senior Center.
Yeah, yeah, we are too.
Great job, Lynn.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Lynn. Third on the agenda is to consider ordinance establishing the dates and times for sales and discharge of the fireworks. Denise?
Sure. Okay, at the January 27th Commission meeting, the Commission voted 4-1 to establish specific dates and times to discharge fireworks. Fireworks sales would be permitted from July 1st through 4th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., and discharge would be permitted July 1 through 2 from 10 to 10, and then July 3 and 4 from 10 to midnight. You also discussed making this consistent for future years. There is language in the ordinance that is in the packet that shows that, and if you need for clarification, the red line will help you know where that's at. Additionally, staff would like to correct an error in the staff report from the 27th agenda item. The report of the amount of sales tax revenue earned by the city in 2025 from the fireworks sales reflected only the amount distributed to the city by Harvey County. It did not include the full collections associated with the applicable NAICS codes. Our share of the revenue from the first 1% sales tax is distributed directly to the city by the state. Our share of the second 1% sales tax is distributed to the city by Harvey County. The previously reported total was $6,520. The corrected amount is $13,039, and we apologize for this error. It is now up to you to discuss what you would like to do and go from there.
We have Brittany.
I would like to say something. I'm not going to try to surprise you again. I'm going to keep playing the new guy card until Denise takes it away from me. So as the new person, I'm still learning how this works. And one of the most frustrating parts for me is figuring out the open meetings laws, which I don't know if the public is aware of how it works, but we're really limited in how we can discuss things. And I'm a process person, and I like to talk things through really carefully. And I feel like we haven't all been on the same page talking about the same information at the same time. The first meeting, there was information that some people had that I didn't have, and then I felt left out. Not left out, but like I was catching up. The second meeting, I brought forward a bunch of information. I talked to Leroy, but I couldn't legally talk to anybody else, and so I surprised everybody else, and then they felt rushed. And just to my point, after that meeting, one newspaper reported the vote as 5-0. The other newspaper reported as 3-2. The actual vote was 4-1. So it didn't feel clear to me. I'm suggesting that we table it because it's not urgent. I've checked with everybody. It's not urgent. I would love to see us just use this to get it right, set something 5 years out. I'm not concerned about the actual, what we end up on. I was okay with the first one. I'd be okay with the second one. It's not clear to me that we're all on the same page. If you think we all are, we can go ahead and vote. I'm suggesting we table it, make sure that we have that full discussion, look at all the data, we're all seeing it the same way, and then make our decision.
Well, in response to that, I think I can speak for Leroy and I in one way, and that is we've been through years of these kinds of conversations. And so when you made that suggestion the last time about the 4 days of discharge and the 4 days of sales, was I surprised? Yes, but I am definitely on that page. And again, because of years of different options, that wasn't like, oh, gee, never thought of that. So I can say I'm on board with that, and I think setting that in a, what's the word I want to use, a perpetual ordinance?
Recurring or
So, yeah, I am completely on board with that. And so.
That's my main goal is to figure out that we've still, I don't, Rich isn't here, so I can't know what he was thinking. He voted against it last time. You voted against the first one. Maybe we'll all still agree on something. I'm not, I just am interested in making sure, before we make it permanent, make sure. That would be my.
I think where you're coming from is a place where I also thought about the process of things and how we go about making decisions and how we all have the same information to make those informed decisions. And so even though the new information we have may or may not change the way that we voted last time, but it's just the fact of the process of coming together with this new information and making that either that same decision or different if it needed to be. So I think that's where, Jason, is that kind of what you're going along?
I just want to make sure to all the public, to everybody, we've thought this through. This is, I got a call from one of the businessmen, and I'm not responding to people trying to influence me. I'm responding to trying to make sure I understand the facts correctly. So we were talking about the placer data. It shows one thing, it shows traffic, but it doesn't show revenue. So you might only have 100 people coming. I talked to Rod Cry. He saw receipts where somebody came in and bought $11,000 worth of fireworks on the second day. So that's one person, but it's a large volume. And so I just want to make sure we're looking at things accurately and making a good decision. My goal is still the least amount of unpredictable loud booms as possible and predictability for both businesses and for the community. And what I heard from a business person is that they already ordered their fireworks in probably August or September for this coming year based on 4 years of predictability that we were going to have 8 days of selling. And now we've I feel like I've did it because I brought out the. I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page before that's my only interest.
The only surprise to me the last time was all the data.
Yeah.
And Daniela had asked me would I be interested, I can't remember your exact words, and I said no, because I knew where I was. And my decision was not based on the data. I appreciated it, but it was not based on the data. It was based on the people of the community and just responses that I've had over the years, too. It wasn't just this year. It's been over the years. So the data was probably the surprise, and it was, the time that it took to gather, that was fine. There's always going to be people that are going to be against this and for this, and that's some of the tough calls as a new commissioner. That's some of the growing pains, decisions that you make and trying to weigh them and make the best. In the end, you have to make the decision you are most content with, and as you've weighed everything, I guess to answer your question, I'm on board with it.
Sure.
And
I'm just offering it. If you decide to vote right now, we can vote, that's fine.
I'm for voting for it.
We have spent way too much time on this issue.
Yeah.
I'm okay with waiting till the mayor comes back. If we want to have a final discussion with the 5 of us, seems to me that'd probably be the fairest way to do it.
Right.
I want this to be over 3 months ago.
Yeah.
It's not, but why don't we just wait till the mayor comes back? Let's have the final discussion and let's vote on it. Let's don't delay anymore.
Yeah.
That's my thought. Just one man's opinion.
I would agree.
That's fine, if that's what the whole of the commission wants to do. I was ready to vote tonight, but I can give it another, it's not gonna change where I'm at, so. And I honestly, when we did that vote, and Rich was here, and he was really surprised, I thought honestly that he voted for it, but obviously
did.
somebody here must have clarified that because of the way he responded, and I heard him say, "Wow, well, okay." That was a surprise. That's how I heard him respond, but obviously he must have confirmed.
We watched the video
Okay.
to double check what the vote was.
Okay.
So we did agree.
And
Law department agreed.
Adam, didn't you ask him specifically? Did you have a quote, or Chad? Yeah, so he did vote against it.
Okay.
So do we need to take any action if we do defer it for 2 weeks?
Just a motion to table it and then advise the city manager
I
if you want to
move
do a
that we
work
table
session.
it for 2 weeks.
I will second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Okay.
Thank you.
Is there an ordinance number for this one?
We don't need that.
Not yet.
We'll take.
Okay, that's right. We're not making a decision yet, so sorry about that. Okay, number 4 on the agenda is considered an ordinance amending fines and penalties for code enforcement cases. Chris?
Yeah, and this is another, this is an ordinance that we've discussed the prior 2 meetings, and just as a review, this ordinance serves to do 2 things. It allows a mechanism to prosecute business entities when they fail to appear. And then second, it updates the fine structure throughout for all code enforcement violations, whether you're an individual or a business. We provided some info responsive to your requests. Number 1 was the conviction rates for code enforcement cases in Newton City Court. And you'll see that there's essentially a 79% dismissal rate and a 16% conviction rate. And whereas those numbers for DUI might not be optimal for a code enforcement case, we're not going for that conviction. We're not. The end game is a win is not a conviction. A win is compliance, and often if there's compliance, we're dismissing it oftentimes with court costs of $80. So I think that was the number that you were looking for, and then also staff put together some information that they found on other municipalities' fine structures for code enforcement. So the ordinance is in the packet. Again, it serves to do those 2 things. It does provide uniform fine structure. If the commission thinks that those numbers are too high, obviously we can amend them down. We can do what the commission wishes. Oftentimes, when there is a conviction, the city is asking for and the judge is ordering the minimum fine. It's typically how those violations go forward when there is a conviction. I would stand for any questions.
Does anybody have any questions or comments for Chris?
Well, when I was reading through all of this, and maybe I just don't remember, on your comparison list with the other cities, can you just explain the wastewater issue? What would be the?
I think this would be like an illicit discharge.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. And then the other thing, after 43 pages is a lot of reading. And where is the one that and again, I'm going to confess my ignorance. It seems like we talked about something so many times. And where is the ones regarding weeds and that kind of stuff is not, it's not in here because I didn't, unless I'm missing it somewhere.
And Commissioner, I think you're right on that. I think that is a separate chapter.
Is there another name for that? It's not code, is it
It's
It's in section 7.
nuisance abate? Okay.
yeah, but there's specific to
Is there something?
weeds and grass.
There is,
All grasses or weeds
yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
or
when I was
unsightly
reading,
page
vegetation.
3.
see now,
Bottom of page 3, it says all
so
grasses
see,
are
and
weeds.
I went right through some of that, and I went thinking I was going to find it at the back in the,
It's right at the B.
okay, then that's my mistake. I looked at things like, well, things that have been abandoned and sitting on porches and out in yards
And
and
that's generally a
that
nuisance.
kind of stuff. Okay,
Were you done, Kathy?
yeah.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on this? I heard you say something about DUI. Can you kind of tell me what that looks like?
I don't know. I guess what I was trying to say, and typically for a criminal case, if the prosecutor believes that there is a good case that should go forward and in the interest of justice, it should amount in a conviction, you would see a higher conviction rate. We don't dismiss 80% of city court cases. The point I was trying to make, just that code enforcement is different in that compliance is a path to dismissal. And that's why you'll see, I don't know what the percentage is of conviction rates for DUI. That was just an example, but you're going to see a higher dismissal rate in code enforcement.
Right, as long as if there's a compliance.
Exactly.
And so,
Right.
yeah,
And it could be for a lack of facts as well. It could be that someone could challenge it and be found not guilty, or we could say this is a bad case. That's another way to get to a dismissal. But oftentimes the dismissal is going to be because they've come in compliance, they figured out what the problem is, and they fixed it. And that's all we're going for.
Okay.
So I'm going to go back to the weeds again. It seems like when I was first elected, we had a workshop one time on all of the, like, grass can't be any higher than such and such, and it was quite a packet of stuff. Is that still, I mean, this is a mention of grass or weeds, but that's not.
So and I probably should have given this background. For code enforcement cases, there's essentially two paths, and you can do both. You can go for a fine. You can file a complaint in city court. That's separate. If they're found guilty, there's a fine associated with it. Separate from that is our abatement. In our abatement program, their notice step, they're given a chance to take care of it themselves. They don't. We do the work, and then we assess those costs. So oftentimes with the grass, with the mowing, we're taking the abatement route. Same thing with the demolition. You think of a house that's falling down. We may first go the criminal route and cite them in city court, and we're not getting anywhere, then we go forward with the abatement process. With weeds, oftentimes it's going to be that abatement side.
But that really is then another conversation as far as looking at how, if we want to go clean that up or change anything, because whatever we would set it to, if we set grass couldn't be any higher than 6 inches or 12 inches or whatever, once they have, where they're not complying with it, then this is what applies as far as if they're not following the ordinance on, you know what I'm saying?
I think the ordinance in front of you, and we've been working on a redraft of all our environmental codes that would address the abatement side. This ordinance does not change anything with abatement. It's fines, and then it's fines for business entities. So it does not change our abatement process at all.
Okay.
I think maybe what Kathy's asking, where's the language that defines what is a nuisance? Is that in the?
Yeah, it should be in this chapter. Hold on one
Is it in here? In the ordinance, or is that in a code somewhere?
It is in our municipal code. There's a weeds chapter that, I don't know if have we introduced our code and how it's outlined, but there is a weeds chapter. And Kathy has requested, actually, she's requested in the last couple of months to go through that weeds chapter and see if there's updates. And you mentioned that we've done this in the past, and it might be time to bring it up again. It's on the list to discuss at the retreat of how important it is on the list, because since we're going through budget right now, I don't know if we need to put that in March, April, or if we wait for the summer. We're going to prioritize some of these things, but it is on our list to do because I believe you requested and Rich has requested that we go through the chapter. For example, Mr. Hasso, who was here a couple weeks, who was here not long ago, requested a change to the time frame and how we notice up. that coupled with some of, other things that have come in the past, it might be good to just do a work session and go through that,
Yeah, it seems like there's something that we looked at, and maybe Leroy would remember this, because we looked at this at a workshop, and it would be like, if you had an ordinance that said people couldn't have weeds or grass higher than, I'm just going to use this as an example, 12 inches high. Well, we could change that. And so that's not in here, but this is a separate packet of looking at those kind of like things, like
Sure.
weeds, grass, yard, all of that.
Sure.
And do you remember that?
I do. Nuisances, just to answer
10 years
this, I'll
ago,
jump
but-
back. Yeah, 11-201, so I guess page 70, and that's, yeah, and there, Rebecca has weeds up now, which is Article 6.
That's on the code, on the website. If you go to the city code, you can pull that up. She could also type in nuisance in there, and it will pull up.
So 11-601 for weeds, 11-201 for nuisances, and that's defines nuisance.
Okay.
Okay. So we're changing pieces of various chapters. I'm just trying to figure out what this, how this
We're reciting all of these chapters, but
see.
we're only bringing in the prosecution of the LLCs and
Okay.
changing the fines for everything. That's why it's.
Yeah, I got it.
But there will be like Danielle is saying, there will be an overhaul of everything coming.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Sorry if I didn't address it
No,
the first time.
I get that. All right, thank you.
My question was if you have any, where did it go, comments on, when I'm looking at the code penalty comparison,
Uh-huh.
I only see one that has a minimum, Overland Park, it looks like. Oh, no, McPherson has, and wastewater, McPherson does. I'm just curious, what, is there, the previous nuisances didn't have a minimum, the wastewater did, and the dangerous structures had a $5 minimum. Is there a?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think these fine structures have been updated in some time.
Okay.
Denise is shaking no. Oftentimes, I would say that it's best practice and to have a minimum and maximum fine established, regardless of where you set it, and whether you want to set it lower or higher, what have you, to establish a minimum fine, knowing that typically the city is going to ask for that minimum. But yeah, I don't know the last time we've updated the fine structure.
But we're not talking about the fine structure yet.
Well,
We're just
you are,
this
if you,
today.
if you approve this ordinance, you are updating and increasing the fine structure. So if you have pause on that, I would advise you not to approve the ordinance before you. If that needs additional discussion, that's fine.
I understand exactly now. I mean, I do.
Sorry for not explaining on the front end.
I kind of knew where it was up here. I just wasn't sure how I could get it all out. And so, no, I do understand.
What would be an
Still trying to-
ordinance number?
It'd be 5195-26.
I move that we approve 5195-26.
I second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed? Same sign? Okay. Okay, next on the agenda is our citizens forum. And we do have 2 citizens on the list. Lori, would you like to come up?
Lori Hartke. Good evening, Ms. Vice Mayor and Commissioners. Well, I was going to first thank you for the fireworks change, but maybe I better wait in case you change it again, because then I might not thank you. Anyway, I wasn't here for the entire meeting when you did this, so I wanted to let you know that I was disappointed that the commission chose the Kansan over the Harvey County Now for the legal papers. The Kansan is owned by out-of-state, I believe, or out-of-country corporation. So no money that is given to them is going to stay here in Newton. Harvey County Now, on the other hand, is owned and operated by Newton people, and any money that they would get will stay right here in Newton and be used to benefit Newton. As I heard tonight, you guys usually support local businesses and urge everyone to attend to local businesses and support them. And then you turn around and don't support a local business, which is contradiction. The Now reaches 3 times the number of people that the Kansan reaches. So even though it's only distributed once a week, it goes to more people, and more people read it, and more people would see the legal paper stuff. I know it costs more for the Now, but I think you get what you pay for, and you can be guaranteed that it's going to be correct and it's going to be seen by more people. So nothing can be done this year, I realize, but I hope next year that you might reconsider the Now and practice what you preach about supporting local and support the Harvey County Now for your legal paper. Thank you.
Thank you, Lori. Can I ask a question? Or on that?
Absolutely, yeah.
I wasn't, is that information accurate? Is the Kansan ran or by someone else out of state or country or something, or what is the difference?
Thank you.
The Newton Kansan is owned and operated by Cherry Road Media of New Jersey.
Okay.
Its editor, standing before you, has paid property tax in this town for 30 years. Cherry Road Media pays property tax in this town.
Good point.
And when you want to talk about circulation, we circulate 3 times a week, not once. And that information that has been spread about our circulation is not an audited circulation number. The circulation number that is audited is published every October in our required by law statement of ownership. That statement of ownership during its last audit was more than 1,000. I cannot explain why 671 was written down by someone from our corporation, but I can stand here and tell you what our audited circulation numbers were in October.
You said that was 1,000?
Yes. And again, that's 3 times a week, not once. And I am going to stress again, because I am tired of defending myself in front of my son's PTO meetings. I am local. And I have paid property tax in this town, for this county, and for this school district for 20 years. There's only about one other, make it 2, members of the media in this town who have paid property tax in this town longer than me, and one of them works for me. In short, I'm tired of having arrows shot at me.
Thank you. both made,
My understanding of why we voted for the cans is simply because of the 3 times a week for certain notices that are noticed up where once a week would not be sufficient to give the proper notice. Is that correct, Denise?
That would be correct. You're welcome to look at the packet if you would like to see what the RFP was that was in the packets and the reasoning why. Come see me. I'm happy to share that with you.
I think you both made some really good points. Thank you for coming up and sharing your side of things.
Is there another citizen?
What do we do? Marion Wise for cruise night.
Ladies and gentlemen, City Commissioners, thanks for listening. I am Marion Wise, coordinator of Cruise Night, May 1st this year, 2026. Come up to let you know what I got planned for this year. I think it's pretty exciting. I'm working with an outfit out of Dallas, Texas that does drone shows. We also can't forget that massive drone. And this will be
What is this?
a drone show.
Drone.
Drones.
Oh, very neat. Thank you.
And it's just like a.
So,
They'll do any design I want.
Marion, can you talk in the mic, please? Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, what were you saying?
They will do any design I want. So the majority of it will be about cars because it's car night for the town. I want to bring him here to, and if I get enough advertisement, there'll be people from other states to come to Newton. And that's one of my main objectives, is get more people to come to Newton. As far as I know, Wichita has had one drone show. I don't remember what year they had it or what part of the year they had it. So I think that would make a good deal for Newton.
so then are you planning on having a nighttime show where it's dark like that, or?
Yeah. So they'll come in about 9:30 and do their show. And I'm in.
Are you wanting to do it on Friday night then and not
Yeah.
Saturday? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll probably have a flyover, because like last year at the car show, I had a flyover, fly over the car show during awards. I don't know if anybody's seen that or not. I know guys out of Benton that came and did with their biplanes. They had 2 airplanes to fly over. I don't know if anybody's seen that. I'm going to have a flyover that the night of the cruise night, and I'm probably going to have a flyover again for the car show. So I'm not quite sure what kind of flyover I'm going to have for either day, either night. So we'll see. Like last year, I asked Air Force to do a flyover, and I got approved by the Pentagon, but at the last minute, McConnell said no for some reason. One of the guys told me that it wasn't close enough to Memorial Weekend to have a flyover for that weekend, which was kind of funny to me. Mm-hmm. So I'm working on that too. I'm trying not to be as frustrating for you guys as I was last year. So,
Oh,
Thank
It's always
you.
a fun time for me and for
Yeah.
lots and lots of
Oh.
people.
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, see, one of the things I do, for example, I go to Sonic and they give me like 300 tokens for free cherry limeades that pass out. So a lot of businesses ask me to pass out stuff for them.
Oh,
So,
good.
and, you know, I'm sure that since it'll draw a crowd, you know, I'll have backup from the law enforcement. So,
Sounds like a,
but that's all I got. That's what I'm working on.
thank you.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a
Thank you,
good plan.
Marion.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, if that seems to be all our citizens. So let's go around the room. Commissioner Valentine, do you have anything you'd like to share?
Well, I think we have that'll be at the,
We'll
Go
get
around
there.
the horn
Oh,
first.
We'll
you
get
want
there.
to do the, oh, okay, okay. No, I can't think of anything right now. Just thank you. Thank you for everything.
Commissioner Miller?
I'm good.
No.
Nope. Okay, we have one more item, an executive session. We do not anticipate any action after this executive session. So if you'd like to stick around, that's great. If not,
How many minutes?
fine.
I think if we can go till
20?
8:25.
8:25.
Okay.
I move that the city commission recess into executive session to conduct discussions with legal counsel. The justification for closing the meeting is to consult with the city attorney to discuss matters privileged under the attorney-client relationship, and the time and place at which the open meeting shall resume is 8:25.
I second.
Okay, a motion and a second. Any further?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Same sign?
we extend to 8:35.
Second?
Okay?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, you can't go, you can't leave yet. You have to stay until 8:35.
Tell us a story, Denise.
Sorry.
Tell us a story.
Meeting adjourned.
There's no table.